Today I'm going to show you an exercise called elbow curls. We're going to go through 3 different varieties of this exercise. This is such a great exercise. I've been doing it myself about 5 to 10 times a day, and it's been making a huge difference for me. The purpose of the exercise is to correct scapular protraction, in other words, shoulders that have rounded forward. Let's start off by going over sitting elbow curls. Find a chair where you can sit with your knees and hips at 90 degrees and sit with your feet, your ankle joint, right underneath your knee joint. So just look down and make sure that your feet are not in close to you like this. Your ankle joint should be right underneath your knee joint. Sit up really tall and place an arch in your lower back. Then take your hands, push your fingers really tightly into the pads of your palms with your thumbs sticking out, and place your knuckle, the big knuckle right here, right at the temple, right at the soft spot behind your eyeball. And bring your elbows to touch in front of your face and right back out as far as they'll go. So the key here, you want to look for a couple things. Keep your hands really tight, okay? So keep your thumbs pointing down to the floor, keep your fingers pressed really tightly into the pads of your palms. The biggest mistake I see people make on this exercise is their hands get loose like this and their wrists bend. And it totally changes the exercise. It makes it really easy and it completely defeats the purpose. So keep the wrists and the hands tight. Even if you're not able to get the full range of motion, you want to still keep your hands and wrists locked out and work towards getting those elbows to touch in front of your face. Second thing here, you want to keep those elbows up really high. So if you let your elbows drop, it's cheating. It's much easier, and again, it totally defeats the purpose. Keep the elbows high, even if you need to go super duper slow, to keep those elbows as high as they'll go. And third thing that you want to avoid is allowing your head to come back and forth. That is also cheating. So you want to try to avoid that. Keep your head in one place and try to just get your shoulders and your elbows to move. Now, second version I'm going to show you is static back elbow curls. For this one, you're going to want to lay on the floor with your legs up over a chair with your knees and hips at 90 degrees. And you're just going to do the same thing, but it's a little bit easier here to actually focus on the movement and maintaining the hand positioning. By laying on the floor, you're essentially putting your hips and your spine into a neutral position, so it eliminates a lot of the compensation that happens when you're in the seated position, and it allows you to really focus on getting that full range of motion. So for any of these versions of this exercise, you want to shoot for doing 20 repetitions and then work up to doing 2 sets of 20 if you can. And the third version I'm going to show you is sitting elbow curls with the strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, basically anything that is not stretchy. So it should be nice and tight, just like that. You want your knees to be about hip width apart, maybe even slightly closer than hip width, so you can measure 1 fist width between your knees. And you're going to do the exact same thing. The only difference here is that you're going to place constant pressure out against the strap while you move your arm. So it's actually much harder than it looks. And what this is going to do for you is it's going to fire up your lateral hip stabilizer muscles. This is just such a great exercise for those of you that are spending a lot of time sitting, whether it's at your computer working or in your car driving, whatever it might be. The longer you sit, the more your hip muscles start to shut down and go to sleep. So this is just a really great way to wake up your hips, get your shoulders back in place, and that's it. So let me know if you have any questions.